and we have the two. We have Fallen Angels #1 and X-Men #2. So I think we should probably start with Fallen Angels since that's arguably the weakest of the two. I say arguably. It's definitely the weakest of the two.
Definitely the I think the New Mutants of this week for me.
Yeah, I agree. But since we obviously it's very much based on Quanon or Psylocke. I can't remember how you pronounce her name.
Yeah.
Quanon or Quanon.
The Asian version of it.
Yeah. It's like you get a little recap of like where she her origin kind of I suppose, and they very much mix in Betsy Braddock was in my buddy and I was just nowhere and now I'm back, so yeah.
It's edgy now too. It's so 90s.
And then you get Betsy be like, we need to talk, and it's like, yeah, no, we don't. Bye. Is that okay? Like, can we have that talk, please? That talk was probably infinitely more interesting than what was going on. But it's not. I say more interesting. It's not a bad book.
It's not bad. It's just forgettable for me.
It's very loosely connected.
Yeah.
And it feels a bit tacked on, kind of like a New Mutants. It's like you didn't need this one, really.
And it's kind of sad. It's kind of sad because it involves some at least one of the characters involved is like arguably probably one of the more interesting X-Men characters.
Yeah, but at the same time they've ruined her because that whole X-23 series they had, where it's like, oh yeah, I'm gonna be X-23 again. It's like, no, this would be. I get in this, it kind of goes with the theme of the book. Like, they've both had people think they're someone else and all that sort of the identity behind who they are. It's like it very much fits in. Also with young Cable, it fits in very well. Because we've known big old Cable, but now we have little young Cable that gives people grenades as a gift. Lunatic.
The biggest thing for me for this book is the art is kind of ugly.
I really enjoyed the art. I really liked it.
Yeah, I didn't get it. I didn't get into it. I
think I might have liked the panel layout and the panel design more.
But... Yeah, I'll give you that. It's just to me kind of I'm not crapping on it, but I never got into Carl. What's that guy's name? Man, I'm having a brain. He did the Generation X series when it started. Yeah. Carlos Bellaccio or whatever, but it kind of reminds me of that art, and I was never huge on that art.
I mean, that's fair. That's fair
enough. Do you think that when they put this out, they kind of knew that was going to be delayed, because this doesn't really further the story along too much, so it's not really it didn't hurt whatever the narrative they were putting out so far.
Yeah, I'm not sure because obviously it ties in with X-Force #1. That's really only the only real connection you get. Obviously, apart from it's on Krakoa, and half the issue is trying to get her off Krakoa with the team. But it feels, I don't know. I think it's too disconnected from everything to actually.
Did you get the too melodramatic? I felt like I was reading a soap opera for some reason. I mean, I guess that's the X-Men. That's kind of redundant because X-Men is basically a comic version of Days of Our Lives. So.
Yeah. It's just Coronation Street or EastEnders.
I'll take that back.
I did enjoy it overall. It's just it very much you could have called this something else and have it not be X-Men, and it would. Yeah.
Well, I think that's when it gets into the Fallen Angels name, because it kind of fits the characters in a way, and it doesn't outright. I mean, if you took the X off that cover, that would have been fine. I mean, you could have associated it with X-Men without that X, that big red X in the middle of the logo. I think. I think hopefully the series is a little bit better as it goes along for me anyway.
I say hopefully it picks up, but the implication I got from this, just the whole premise of it, it's you're going to have to do all this behind people's backs. It's not official that you can go. Magneto's kind of I'm not telling you can go, but you can go. Like, I'm not saying if you want to get out, go to Mr. Sinister, but go to Mr. Sinister. Like, it feels very much like a, hey, this is going to be important, but not really.
Yeah,
sort of thing.
And it kind of feels like a more X-Force-y than X-Force, right? Too.
A little bit, yeah.
Because like the X-Force is like, I mean, like that was the whole premise of like the not this iteration of the X-Force, but that other iteration that came out when
we got 2 Black Ops teams.
Yeah, I was gonna say,
but you've got one official one and one off the record one, so it's kind of. I don't want to say redundant because I think it's a bit too harsh in it. Because I did enjoy it, I did enjoy the art and everything. Also, I got the Pepe Le Raz cover and it's fantastic, so I can't really crap at them. But it's just I don't know. I'm struggling to understand the purpose of it.
Yeah.
But hopefully, but it feels very much like hey, we need to explain Psylocke a little bit. She's going to be important later down the line.
But do you think this would have been more better off as a limited series rather than whatever they're doing right now? Because
I imagine it's got to be a limited series, surely.
I was gonna say because it kind of feels like if they had to start trimming down the X-Men.
If they've got to start trimming it down, this is 100% the first one to go.
Yeah, but I mean, like if like just off the first issue alone, I could say I don't necessarily think I need to start reading this book.
No, I agree. It's the one that I'd be like, you can skip that.
Yeah, because it really didn't set up anything major. It just kind of like it felt like it was kind of playing off what the other book was saying. You know, I don't know. It didn't seem. It did basically the same thing that New Mutants did for me, where it didn't feel important enough to. Like, I'll give it 5 issues. If it doesn't really like strike a chord with me, I'm probably gonna drop it and just and it probably wouldn't hurt my experience with the other books, you know, because it doesn't seem like it's a Black Ops team that nobody mentioned. So I mean,
you could quite easily merge this in with X-Force, and both would be better for it. Personally,
exactly. You know,
let's take Jean Grey off of X-Force, put in Quanon or Psylocke.
But then
you're literally replacing telepath, so you're fine in that.
Yeah, that was the one thing that was kind of jaunting for me with X-Force. It's like, where does she fit in that? You know, but then you would have the problem with isn't Psylocke on that X-Force team too? So, or is she?
I don't think Psylocke's on it.
Okay,
no.
Then
actually,
I can't remember. Maybe I'm not remembering this correctly. But like I mean. I think you're right. I think you could have just easily and who's to say that they don't do that? You know.
I mean, true. But down the line, it could be like, hey, we were doing the same thing you were. Like,
hey, why don't you do it first? We won't talk about it too. I don't know. You know, it wasn't like for me. It wasn't like a major hit for me against the series. It just wasn't. I don't think it did anything to make me want to read it more, if that makes any sense. Like it didn't like take away from anything that I was experiencing with the Hickman's main books, but it didn't and in the same respect it didn't do anything for me to make me go, oh, I must read this book more. You know.
I think I still put it above New Mutants overall.
Yeah. That was the
thing, but I think it's because I enjoy the characters more. Like, even though Illyana's great, but I was never a big New Mutants guy, but it's.
I mean, with that, I again, it just felt inconsequential for me. It just felt like a reunion cast, you know, getting together. It's
definitely made the which ones am I going to keep a lot easier. That's definitely.
I mean, like I'll give it 5 issues. If it still hasn't picked up steam, I'll probably just kind of cut it, you know, and if I have to read it, I'll read it on the digital app or something. I don't know, you know, like it doesn't seem like at this point doesn't seem necessary to keep it like a physical copy for me, you know, like
I 100% agree.